Internet search is over. You found Ron and Fez.
Welcome back to the Ron and Fez Show, live on a Wednesday. Ron Bennington, Fez Whatley with you on 106.7 WJFK. Ronnie, we finally figured out how to solve our problem with the French.
Is it send back the Statue of Liberty?
No, it's insult their cooking.
Wouldn't that be great if we just sent them back the Statue of Liberty? We just busted it up and sent it back to them.
And just threw it on their lawn.
How could they? They're just crying. I thought they liked that statue.
Just a big shattered torch hanging out.
And that'll show them how Kaiser Sose we are. We just go off, we go nuts, and we have a big bonfire at the Statue of Liberty.
We start destroying our stuff as we give it back to them. Anything they gave us, we just throw it back. I say we give them back Louisiana.
I'm all for that.
Now, Ronnie, if we just insult their cooking, they will apparently start killing themselves in droves.
What happened?
There was a French chef who has been driven to suicide because he got a bad review in one of France's top restaurant guides. They actually downgraded him.
Now, up to that point, was he okay? Everything was sunny for this guy?
Apparently he had a nice life. He had a wife and 3 kids.
He killed himself with a strainer. He couldn't take it anymore.
So apparently on this review that they used, this restaurant guide, you could get a possible 20 points. That was the highest score you could get. He had been in a 19. Nice, right? This year he dropped to 17, and they really questioned his dedication to food and cuisine, and he killed himself.
Well, there must have been some truth to it then. He knew exactly.
He said, one of his friends said he was having a down moment. He had been warned by the food critics, you may lose a star. You may lose. He had a 3-star restaurant in France, and they were threatening him that you may lose a star.
All right, here's a weird deal. All right, he gets 19 out of 20, and that's only 3 out of 4 stars?
Yeah, and he's still out of 3.
And very few people come in at under 2 stars.
Right. Maybe 3's the highest you can get there.
It can't be. I always see 4-star restaurants. I thought we used it over here.
Because we got it from them?
Yeah.
Oh, that would make sense. But anyway, he was worried about losing a star.
I don't blame him there.
And he told his friend,
it's like a general losing a star.
If I lose a star, I'll kill myself. He actually said it. And then his rating dropped 2 points from 19 to 17, and he offed himself.
He didn't have anybody around to say, hey, it's just food.
According to the report, Ronnie, it was death by chocolat.
No.
No. Oh. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how he did it.
Maybe he just bored himself to death.
So he kills himself, and now everyone's like coming after the critics and the reviewers going, listen, this is what you're doing to people.
Oh, come on. Every time, if somebody leaves American Idol and kills himself.
That would be the best. And they left a note saying Simon did it.
You can't blame Simon, can you?
I would.
I mean, obviously this guy wasn't up to the stress that it takes to make it in the food service industry.
Simon's right. I am a fat no-talent who has no idea how to dress. Goodbye, cruel world.
They should be forced to kill themselves right there in the restaurant.
So now this guy is just gone. The French, they're very sensitive. I don't understand it. So he's very upset, and now they lost a cook. And apparently that's the way it's done in France.
Wow. I would like to know how he killed himself. Have you ever been on the edge where you thought maybe suicide does?
No. I don't think I've ever been that far.
For me, every single day.
Really?
Every day is a battle against the bullet.
You're like a French chef, the way you live your life.
I always leave it as an option. When I'm making out the to-do list of things that, like setting my goals, or I just put a big or, and then just a picture of me painting the ceiling red.
Oh, God. Let's see, we had a salesman. He didn't do it at the car lot that I worked on. He did it at his home. We lost one that way.
Why can't we lose one around here like that? Someone tell Julie Foreman.
She's depressed enough. All right, they've said they found a hunting rifle next to his side. All right, so, hunting rifle.
Yeah, but that was to kill quail for dinner later.
What's the cause of death in the French chef's suicide?
17 out of 20. Pepe! Hey!
He lost a star.
If they take my star, they might as well take my life.
You, sir, are no longer 3 stars.
Suddenly it was branded, where they come in and actually take the star off the wall.
That would be great. We're taking all this down.
If you did kill yourself, how would you go off this?
Oh, I would do the very sissified pills.
No, not me.
How would you do it?
I take the face off.
Really? The hunting rifle like like Froggy?
Yeah, I put the shotgun under my chin and take my chances. Either I'm dead or I shoot my face off. But either way, they're all sorry. They took that star from me. What's the most famous suicide ever?
Let's see. What would be the most famous?
Oh, I got mine. I got my pick.
What do you got?
Remember, it was like a Pennsylvania congressman who shot himself on TV.
Oh, they got that on Faces of Death. You hear his name all the time. What was his name? That was wild. Remember he was passing out papers to everyone, or envelopes?
Yeah.
And then he took the gun out of the big envelope.
Yeah.
And just did himself right then and there.
And there was a nice, no! Somebody, no! Right before he pulled it. And you could see that, like, by the time he hit, he was gone.
Yeah.
I mean, his life left him so fast. That's why I would rather do that than the pills. I don't want to go out a pill head.
I don't think I would have the guts to put a gun in my mouth.
Put it next to your temple, then. That's got to be the best place, right? Right next to the temple. They say the guys who put it in their mouth are the ones who shoot their faces off.
Right. There's a lot of people, they try to put it under their chin.
Yeah.
And it does not work. All you're doing is losing your chin and your nose.
But then you got a funny story later.
And a funny face.
I so depressed. I thought the best thing to do was to shoot myself. And then here's the funny part. It didn't work out.
Thank you.
All right, Rory's got a name for us. What is it, Rory?
R. Bud Dwyer. Bud Dwyer, that's right.
Crazy Bud.
Bud with his finger on the trigger, Dwyer.
All right, I know a guy who did this. Actually, and you might have met this person, Fez. It was when we were in Florida. It was somebody who was like a client of ours. I don't think, but I ended up having to do some kind of football game with it. It was like a man and his wife. They seemed so happy. And then he beat her to death not long afterwards with a claw hammer. And then, comes out of his rage, realized what he did, and he offed himself.
Oh, man. Just nasty. That's awful. We had a guy across the street behind the block from us.
Yeah.
Shot the wife and then shot himself. Yeah. But he lived, He survived.
How embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, oh, God, I remember the sirens going and everything, and Mother heard the shot, so she was out the clothesline in the backyard, and they were on the other street. And she took me over there by the hand because she didn't want to leave me alone.
But she wanted to see what was going on?
She wanted to see, as she put it, the action. So she took me around the street, and they're hauling this guy out, bloody as anything, into the ambulance.
Now, when I was a kid, my Cub Scout then mother, I don't know what she's depressed over. She went into her room, poured gas on herself, and lit herself on fire.
No way.
Now, try dealing with that when you're 9 and it's your den mother, And we're like, what? I should have seen it coming. We're really, all the kids in our pack were like, we should have known. And we were really saying that to each other. How did we miss this? And then, my mom was, tried to hide it from me. So then I had to find out the real scandal.
Oh, God.
I think my mom just told me she moved. You're quitting Cub Scouts.
Why?
No reason. And then the other kids would tell me what happened. And of course,
where's the dead mother?
We went through the whole crazy thing.
Oh, that's awful.
So that's always been, and how long would that take you to die like that? That can't be a quick one, right?
I can't imagine the pain and the agony and the long suffering.
My dead mother, Richard Pryor, was the nicest person, and she really was the nicest person I ever met.
That's horrible when you don't see, when you...
I'm 9. What can I do, Fez? Can I talk her out of it? I had my own stuff I was dealing with.
Oh.
And you're acting like I'm responsible now.
Well...
Maybe if we would have stopped...
You could have done something.
If we would have stopped all the roughhousing.
Behave yourself for 2 minutes.
Mike, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Mike.
Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I think you already found out, Bud Dwyer shot himself. I was actually there that day.
Was crazy Bud Dwyer?
Yeah.
You were in the room?
I was fresh out of college working for a small newspaper.
You were the one that handed him the envelope.
No, I was I was about as far away as you could get. I had the kiddie press pass. He was Oh, boy, he had just been convicted, I think, of taking money.
He's embezzling, right?
Yeah, well, taking money in a government corruption. He was, how was it? I put this out of my mind. I'm no longer even a reporter. I mean,
Did you get to yell as a young man? Hold the presses.
I'm sorry?
Did you get to yell, hold the presses, when you called back?
That would have been kind of cool.
No, I was some little idealistic punk right out of
Stop being so hard on yourself.
College, and I got thrown into it. It was horrible weather in central Pennsylvania that day, big snowstorm, and my editor sent me to this, just said go, and I had been covering like community news and reports, and I had never seen anything like this. He pulls a gun out of this envelope, and the entire room just froze for a second, and then everybody started, he started giving a little speech, and everybody started shouting at him, no, no, no.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
no faces of death.
One of the biggest things, a lot of the local news channels broke in on their programming. Well, the kids in central Pennsylvania had a day off of school because it had snowed really hard, and one of the stations was showing Webster, and all these kids are watching Webster, and then they pop in with Bud Dwyer committing suicide on the air.
Believe me, kids have seen so much on TV, you're not going to shake them.
Yeah, and I sort of thought that myself, and then, that was the first time I had ever seen anybody, actually die. Yeah.
That just scared the hell out of me.
And it was weird. I quit being a reporter about 6 months later.
Really?
You know what, you would have thought that would have whet your appetite. You would have started to get into it.
No.
You could have covered Kurt Cobain case after that. You're the suicide guy from that point on.
Yeah, I could have, I don't know. I guess I just wasn't prepped for that. But yeah, I decided quickly after that reporting wasn't for me, but it was.
All right, bro. Thanks a lot, Mikey.
Take care.
Well, there's Mike. That's the exact opposite attitude I would have thought. I would have thought this is unbelievable.
The last story I ever covered was Bud Dwyer.
Wasn't he with the Rams?
Fred Dwyer? The day Fred Dwyer killed himself. I was there. I was a Cub reporter.
Actually with the Cubs. Todd, you're on Fez.
Hello, Todd.
You're on Fez. Big fan.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Hey, for your den mother that set herself on fire, did she have all the Cub Scouts sitting around her with their flint and stones and striking matches to earn that merit badge?
Ronnie, don't listen. They're cruel.
I know. It's Mrs. T. You're teasing me about Mrs. T. All right, thanks, bro.
You shouldn't still have to hear these jokes.
Hey, I'm not even kidding you. It still kind of haunts me.
I would imagine.
And that was almost 12 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
You were in the Cub Scouts 12 years ago.
Yeah, I was 9.
Well, happy 21st.
Thank you.
866-277-4969. DC local lines 202-432-1067. You mentioned Kurt Cobain. That may be one of the most famous ones.
Let's go over this, Fez, see if you can guess how they killed themselves.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Freddie Prinze.
Freddie Prinze, that was a gun, right?
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. That freaked me out a lot as a kid.
Sure. Or if you can stump us with a suicide, 866-277-4969. Ray Combs, if you remember from Family Feud.
Ray Combs, was that a gun?
Yeah. No, that wasn't a gun.
It wasn't a gun.
Yeah.
All right, then. Did he gas himself in a car?
No, but that to me is as bad as pills. I don't like the guys who sit in the car. I don't want to die in a car.
What did he do?
He hung himself.
Oh, he hung himself. Okay.
Now,
that's never going to work for me. Too big.
Oh, what about the Richard Manuel from The Who? He hung himself in a hotel room from the shower curtain. From the shower curtain rod. Now, I try to get into the shower curtain, I pull the rod down on top of me.
Exactly. You just use it normally like a human and the thing falls apart.
And you got to think to yourself, he didn't want to do this. And the weird thing was, all right, so he hooks himself to the shower curtain rod.
Right.
And just kind of sits down.
Oh, okay.
And I'm thinking, you wouldn't just start choking and just stand up and get out of it?
Yeah, you could stop that at any second, because no one's... I mean, you got to be Zelda Rubinstein to hang yourself from a shower curtain and be dangling there.
My attack is small.
I'm just talking about the physics of the thing.
Here's Matt. Matt, you're around the fence.
Hey, Matt.
What's up, buddies?
Yeah, pal.
You were mentioning how, you shoot yourself and you come out when, I made a big mistake.
Yeah.
I was watching Jenny Jones about a year ago, and
that is a big mistake.
The people were talking, I tried to commit suicide, and the big guy at the end was saying, I tried to kill myself. I drank, battery acid and bleach and cleaner.
Wow.
And it screwed his entire intestines up, that they had to hook one of his small intestines straight to his throat.
And also it ruined your esophagus, too.
Yeah, and now when he eats, you can see a lump in his throat, and he has to push it down with his hand to get to his stomach.
Oh, like a snake.
You know what? And you know what I would say to him? Now's the time to kill yourself, you idiot.
Right.
He was walking around preaching to kids now at school. He said the same thing.
Don't let them like me, kids. Don't try to kill yourself with bleach.
Snake Man is here to tell you not to kill yourselves, and then later on we'll watch him eat a whole egg.
He was saying, please don't
you
do it.
You let them like me.
I couldn't stop laughing when they showed
Look at me. Look.
Can you eat a whole banana?
It was the funniest thing.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Let's see you eat an apple.
Don't try to make me eat things.
You're killing me, guys. I gotta go.
That's it.
Is that a pork chop? That looks like a pork chop shape.
You're missing the point of my speech.
Would you even have to take a chicken leg off the bone?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Why don't you just push it down? Snake Man, stop!
You just hear a rattle.
Brutal.
Bonnie, you're on the fence.
Hey, Bonnie.
Hi, I have a famous one. Michael Hutchins.
Yeah.
Was that a hanging?
Yes,
Yeah.
And it was also from a shower curtain, and they thought that it might have been doing that thing where you're...
Doing that thing you do.
Right, exactly. Where the guys, constrict their airways while they're doing that thing they do.
Yeah.
Oh, that auto asphyxiation arousal thingy.
That was a real weird one and real famous.
Very good, darling. Thank you very much.
Okay, goodbye.
That's it.
Thank you.
I'm obsessed now with the famous suicides. There's nothing like them. Roy, who's your favorite?
My favorite has probably got to be Adolf Hitler. Because when, everything was just going wrong for him, he just said, that's it. I'm just taking my life.
He took the manly way out.
Yeah.
And took Ava with him.
They're not going to be dragging me from a Jeep.
You don't think I saw what happened to Mussolini?
Believe me, I know this gimmick. It ain't happening. Here's a Matt. Welcome, Matt.
I get it.
Yeah.
23408, buddy.
Oh, that's all secret, isn't it?
Hooah! That's a hooah.
Hey, how about the midget from Fantasy Island?
I don't know how he died. I know even when he did that show, there were scars on his hands because he tried to, on his wrists,
tried to
slice himself early in life.
Yeah, Hervé Villachez.
Yeah.
Right.
But how did he end up doing it, gun?
I'm not sure how he did. I thought he shot himself.
You remember, Matt?
I actually don't remember. I was hoping you would know.
No, I'm thinking shot. Yeah, I think he shot himself with a tiny little gun.
Right.
With a Derringer. He put a Derringer in his mouth.
With a dart gun. He offed himself. A BB gun. 866-277-4969.
Jim Jones, of course, that was a famous one. Kool-Aid.
Right. One that always got to me, and this always happens, it shocks me when an older person will do it, like Brian Keith from Family Affair.
Yeah, you know what that's from? You're hurting too much.
Yeah.
I got no problem with that. That's a lot different than, I can't put up with the fact my chick won't get me back.
Right.
But you're like, hey, this aches so much.
And the pain.
I'm painting the wall, buddy.
Didn't Robert Young try to kill himself?
Yeah. Bad series.
Yeah.
Here's Leo. Leo, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Leo.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, buddy.
Ernest Hemingway.
Hemingway was a famous shotgun case.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's
a man's man,
Yeah, he went out. Yeah, that's the only way for a man to take himself out.
That's perfect for Papa.
Yeah. Right.
That's it.
Thanks for the call.
You go out, and, here's the thing. You make sure they find you a couple days later. So they got an effing problem.
If I'm going out that way, I'm leaving a mess for somebody.
Yeah.
I'll crap myself before I do it, just so they have that mess, and I make sure it's there.
There's not a day you're not crapping yourself, so I don't know the difference.
All right, I have a problem. I have a spastic colon.
What is it, Billy? You ready to kill yourself?
No, not today. That's also his granddaughter, Margot Hemingway, committed suicide also.
Was she a pillhead?
Yeah, she took overdosed on pills.
Yeah, but when that happens, how do you know it's not just partying?
I think she left a note.
You actually almost said Harry Carey. Margot Hemingway committed suicide.
Harry Carey. What are you going to be Japanese to do that, right? And get fired?
Is Harry Carey just falling on the sword, or is it any kind of suicide?
I think it's falling on the sword.
I think it's just a ritualistic act of committing suicide.
Yeah, but how ritualistic is it if you're sitting there and taking pills? That's just dull.
And who had Harry Carey first, the Japanese or the Cubs announcer?
No, that was the Japanese, and then he named himself a...
Oh, okay.
I'm going to name myself Suicide!
Suicide Harry.
That's what he should have been. Suicide Harry Carey.
Billy, I have to imagine the thought has run through your pea brain a few times to off yourself, huh?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, I woke up one time I shouldn't say woke up, I should say I came to from a blackout with a loaded shotgun laying on the bed next to me, and I have no idea how it got there.
Well, you know what?
Probably humping it during the night.
If you want to kill yourself, you got to unload it. You just can't lay next to it, you lazy bastard.
Pick the damn thing up.
I would definitely pick a Nicolas Cage ending, though. Leave Las Vegas. Just go till my heart explodes.
Sure, you've been killing yourself for 44 years. It's slow, and it's dragging the rest of us down.
You're going to die with a cholesterol rate of 380, and they're going to deem it a suicide.
Here's, and I don't care what you say, you got to admit that you're interested in suicides, you know?
They're fascinating to people.
They're fascinating to me. I can't get enough of them.
It makes you wonder what makes a person take that final step.
The final leap.
Yeah.
One of the best. Tabitha, you're on Manifest.
Hey,
Hi,
Tabitha.
guys. How are you?
We're great.
Calling from D.C.
All right, baby.
Just wanted to mention the guy that used to play Superman back in the 50s or 60s. I think his name is George Reeves.
Yeah, now, I was always told that he thought he was Superman and leapt out of the building.
Isn't that the urban myth that goes along with that guy?
My older brother and sister told me that.
He convinced himself that he was Superman and tried to fly out of a building.
But now some people actually think he was chucked out of that building.
Really?
So.
Yeah, there's a whole it's one of those things they can't come up with it.
Oh,
But,
did you see this on the E! Hollywood True Story?
Yeah, I think I did, yeah, one of the E things.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But he did not...
Thanks for taking my call.
All right, thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
He did not think that he was Superman and leapt. My brother and sister are dirty liars. He set me up to look like the idiot. Chavez, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey,
Hey
Chavez.
guys, how you doing?
We're cool, buddy.
Hey, great show.
It really is.
Hey, I don't know if this is true, but I thought I've read this about Velichez,
Yeah.
that he offed himself with a shotgun, but he actually taped it, like the last moments right up to the actual shooting.
Made it kind of a little reality show.
Yeah, pretty good. Speaking of which, can I mention something?
Go ahead, real quick.
Something on that Comedy Pyramid. I wanted to call up and say the world's scariest sister chase.
Yeah. All right, thank you, buddy.
Okay.
You know, that stuff only works when you're,
During the pyramid.
Yeah.
Well, it's going on. You could have stopped with the Hervé Villachez information.
Yeah.
We would have been thrilled to have talked to you.
He jumped off a shoehorn, is what they're actually thinking. He left to his death. The first step.
One that got me is, remember that cult in San Diego? When they all killed themselves together and put the purple shroud.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
They found them all in that house, all covered in black sweatpants, white sneakers, and purple shrouds.
Heaven's Gate.
Would you feel Heaven's Gate was a movie? It's Heaven something else.
I don't think the cult was called Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, Heaven's Gate was a movie. Would you rather kill yourself with a bunch of people like that? Would you feel more comfortable?
Yeah, I would definitely feel more comfortable if we went as a group, yeah. And I had somebody there to, lead the way.
Yeah, I'll do it as soon as you're done. If you want, I can shoot you and then shoot myself.
Thank you, Ronnie. You're always looking out for me.
Well, that's my thing, Fezzy.
And I appreciate it.
Think about the rabbits, Fezzy. Think about the rabbits. I honestly think that's the way we go out. With me taking you out in the yard somewhere.
We're going to be Phil and Bree Hartman.
Yeah. They just walk out. Yeah, Fez, everything's going to be great.
And then boom.
I talked to Alan, everything's going to be great.
I knew it would, Ronnie. I knew it would.
Yes.
I told you, Ronnie. I told you everything would be fine.
Just keep thinking about the rabbits, Fez.
I love the rabbits, Ronnie.
Keep thinking about the rabbits. Oh, Fez.
Why are you just pumping me full of lead?
Where's my other bullets? Here they are.
I am in heaven. Has anyone seen Ronnie? Anyone? He was supposed to be right behind me. Has anyone seen Ronnie? Why are you using a machine gun? And then right away on your horse.
Are you moving? Is he moving?
What the hell was that noise?
I think it's the bullets falling.
What kind of stupid sound effect is that?
I don't know.
Why is dirt flying at the end?
I think it's like shell casings falling out.
We don't need that much. That's more than we ever need. Joe, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Joe.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
Gig Young.
Well, Gig Young, the actor from They Shoot Horses, don't they?
Yeah, he was a real popular guy in the 50s and 60s. They did a true Hollywood story on him.
Oh, let me try to think. I'm going to guess he shot himself.
Drank himself to death.
Now, on purpose, or is that just partying?
Alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, see, I don't think that should count as suicide.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, he didn't leave it. They said he didn't leave a message or it.
Oh, here was his last message.
I came here to drink myself to death.
Wait a minute, that's Billy's audio diary. I'm sorry.
You're not supposed to be looking at that or listening to it.
Billy, are you the next Gig Young?
What do you got, Gig Old?
All right, here, Billy brought this in. Go ahead and crow about it, big man.
Yes, it was Heaven's Gate in San Diego that killed him.
Thank you very much.
What do you know about Gig Young?
Just blew himself way in the head after a
Not the drinking?
Nah.
He said he drank himself to death.
No, definitely not. That's very hard to do. He took the easy way out. Again, he shot his wife, if I recall, and then he shot himself.
Really?
To me, that's the classy way to go out. What I'm going to do, I'm not only going to shoot my wife, but I'm going to shoot the ex-wives too. Oh, because I can't think of them surviving without me.
Can you take out mine too on the way?
Please. Consider it done, my friend.
We would, but it's illegal to hunt buffalo.
I heard that.
What?
I heard that.
Excuse me.